Standby Guardianship Project welcomes you to this webinar on the new Standby Guardianship Law. My name is Cam Crockett. I helped draft the Standby Guardianship Bill. I lobbied for its passage in the Maryland legislature, and since its enactment into law, I helped create the Parental Designation and Consent to Beginning of Standby Guardianship form produced by the Administrative Office of the Courts of Maryland. Currently, on a volunteer basis, I and other members of the Standby Guardianship Project are training service providers and professionals who work with immigrant families around the state of Maryland to be able to assist parents in filling out the form. Now let's get started. The new Standby Guardianship Law provides for an undocumented parent to privately name a trusted family member or friend to serve as a standby guardian to care for minor children for a period of up to 6 months if the parent is detained or deported or experiences other kinds of adverse immigration actions. If the parent needs the standby guardian to serve beyond the 6 months, the standby guardian must file a petition with the court before the end of the 6 months to have the standby guardianship extended until the court rules on the petition. If parents do not create a family safety plan and take steps to protect their children, the children will likely be placed in Maryland's child welfare and foster care system. Such placements could result in serious trauma to the child, undercut the parent-child relationship, and have long-term negative effects on the child's future well-being and development. In order to create a standby guardianship, a parent fills out a form which gives the standby guardian legal authority to care for the children, make medical and educational decisions, enroll the children in school, apply for and receive child support or other public benefits for which the children are eligible, and to make domestic and international travel arrangements for the children. We recommend that undocumented parents create a family safety plan and do the following. First, identify and talk with a trusted family member or friend who the parent wants to care for minor children if the parent could experience an adverse immigration action. The second step is to complete the parental designation and consent to beginning of standby guardianship form. Please note that no notarization is required to complete this form. The third step is to provide the standby guardian with important contact information about your child's healthcare providers, child care providers, education support personnel, and other important contacts. You can see on the screen a sample of the important children's information form. In the event of emergency, the standby guardian will need to know about the child's healthcare needs, medications, allergies, other important facts that are listed on this form. If you look in the folder attached to this link, you will see the important children's information form, which can be used by the parent to organize that information for the standby guardian. That form will also be not only in English, but also in Spanish. To locate the parental designation and consent to beginning of standby guardianship form, you can go online to the Maryland Courts Form website. On that website, you will go to Juvenile and Family Forms and then click on Guardianship Forms. From there, you will scroll down to CCGN 041 and CCGN 041 bilingual. Now let's go to the website so you can see for yourself how to find it. Here is the Maryland Courts Forms webpage, and you see Juvenile and Family Law Forms. Then you scroll down on that page to Guardianships. And then you scroll down in these different guardianships forms to CCGN 041. There you see the parental designation and consent to the beginning of standby guardianship form, which is in English, and below it are the translations in Spanish, French, Russian, Chinese, Korean, Amharic, and Brazilian Portuguese. The parent must give a copy of the completed parental designation and consent to the beginning of standby guardianship form to the standby guardian, and be sure that the standby guardian signs and dates the form. In addition, the parent must also be sure that the standby guardian has the parent's full name, date of birth, country of origin, and a number if the parent has one. Finally, it's important that the standby guardian also have copies of the children's birth certificates. Another important aspect of this new law is to understand when the standby guardianship begins. The standby guardianship only starts when the parent is detained or deported and the standby guardian has the completed designation form and is aware that the parent has been detained or deported. Also significant is the fact that parents keep all of their parental rights and can revoke the standby guardianship at any time. If you will look in the folder attached to this link, you will find a bilingual version of the revocation form, which the parent can use at any time the parent wants to terminate the standby guardianship. It is also important for the parent to update the child's emergency information at the child's school to ensure that in the event of an emergency, the standby guardian is authorized by the parent to pick up the child from school. To update the form, ask for a new form at the administrative office of the school your child attends. Also, have the parent sign an ICE Form 60-001. This form is named the Privacy Waiver Authorizing Disclosure to a Third Party. If you look in the folder attached, you will find a copy of this form. This form allows ICE to disclose information about the detained or deported parent to the standby guardian. For more information about the new law and assistance with filling out the form and information about future clinics, trainings, and workshops, contact the Standby Guardianship Project at 667-444-2324 or email us at standbyguardian@gmail.com. You can find our brochure in English and in Spanish in the folder attached to this link. This concludes the webinar. Thank you for listening.